My parents took their adopted son on a trip and died in an accident. But when I heard the news, I was strangely excited. I even quickly canceled all three of their identities. Because in my last life, after I heard the news, I took on the massive debt they had left behind. I even gave up college to work and pay it off, just to save our old family house from the debt collectors. By the time I paid everything off at 35, my body was completely burned out, and I collapsed. Right then, my parents showed up in front of me with their adopted son, all dressed up and living well. They said I had passed their test. I was so furious I dropped dead on the spot. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day they left me behind and went to the beach. This time, I quietly bought them a massive accident insurance policy. So when the news came that all three of them had died, I couldn't help smiling. My fiancé, Lu Yongxi, saw it and immediately cursed me out. Wang Xiaosa, how can you still smile? Are you even human? Her eyes were red, and she looked so pitiful with tears in her eyes. In my last life, I would have felt bad and knelt down to apologize. But now I only felt disgusted. Would crying bring them back to life? Lu Yongxi froze. Clearly, she never expected me to be this cold. How could you say something like that? They were the parents who raised you. And Chu Sheng, he was the little brother you loved most. Lu Yongxi, remember your place. You're my fiancé, not Zhen Chusheng's widow. My brother died, so why are you more worked up than I am? Lu Yongxi's face went pale and panic flashed in her eyes. How could you think that of me? I was sad for you. Since you're so thoughtful, come with me to the insurance company. For what? To collect the payout. They're dead and I'm the beneficiary. There's 100 million in compensation. Lu Yongxi's eyes instantly went wide, her pupils shaking hard. The claims process went smoothly. When that long string of numbers popped up in a text message, I felt every pore in my body open up. In my last life, I lived like a dog until 35 to pay off that 3 million. In this life, this 100 million was the emotional damage money I deserved. Lu Yongxi stared hard at my phone screen. Her tone instantly became unbelievably gentle. She reached out, about to hold my arm. Xiaosa, that's so much money. How could you ever spend it all alone? We're getting married soon. Shouldn't we think about buying a villa as our wedding home? And my brother needs a car. I turned slightly and avoided her hand. Lu Yongxi, this money was paid with lives. You still dare spend it? Lu Yongxi froze in place, her face turning pale and blue. But we're about to get married. Marriage? We'll talk after the funeral. After saying that, I got straight into a cab. Lu Yongxi panicked. She slapped the car window. Xiaosa, where are you going? I rolled down the window. Looking at her, I slowly said 3 words. The police station. When I arrived at the household registration office, I handed over a stack of documents. Hello, officer. I'm here to cancel household registrations. The officer looked at the documents and hesitated. Sir, according to the rules, a missing person usually has to be missing for 4 years before being declared dead. Canceling registration requires definite proof of death. Officer, it was a typhoon shipwreck. Even the rescue team said the survival rate in that situation was 0. The insurance company already paid out. If we don't cancel it, my parents' social security fees will keep getting deducted. Besides, my parents once said, only after their registrations were canceled could they rest in peace. I put on a heartbroken expression. The female officer looked at my grief and then sighed. Fine, since the insurance company has already determined accidental death, we can make a special exception. The red cancellation stamp was pressed onto the household register. At that moment, those 3 people no longer existed in this world. Mom, Dad, dear little brother. You wanted to fake your deaths, so I'll help you make the fake show real. Next, it was time to give you a grand funeral. I booked the biggest funeral home in Binhai City, the largest memorial hall with wreaths lined up from the entrance all the way to the parking lot. Memorial couplets covered the entire hall. I had all 3 of their photos enlarged and hung in the most obvious spot. I even hired professional mourners and invited local media. When Lu Yongxi heard the news, she rushed over. Seeing such a huge setup, her face turned green. Wang Xiaosa, are you crazy? They haven't even found the bodies. And you're holding a funeral this big? You're cursing them. Dressed in mourning clothes, I knelt in the memorial hall. I didn't even raise my eyes. Lu Yongxi, people need to have a conscience. My parents and brother died so miserably. They couldn't even find the bodies. If I don't give them a decent funeral, what will the neighbors think of me? How will the relatives talk behind my back? But how much is this going to cost? This is all our money. Clearly, in her eyes, the 100 million that had just hit my account was already hers. So I deliberately told her, to honor my family, even if I spend the entire 100 million, I'll gladly do it. When Lu Yongxi heard spend it all, she almost passed out. She took out her phone, fingers typing fast. I glanced sideways at her panicked expression. Let me guess. She was probably tipping off that family of 3. Go ahead, the more urgent the better. I've already set the stage. If the main characters don't show up, how can the show go on?